I remember there was this day, I think it was about 2 or 3 days ago, Jermaine Jones spoke to CBS Sports and he was speaking about the potential that the US men's national team does have. And this is what he said, and I quote, "The talent we have is ridiculous. It's really good. It's not just with the first team. I think we have even in the youth teams is unbelievable. We have so much diversity in this country, and I think that it's just a small picture you see now with the first team. Is there talent? For sure in the first team. Now it's the question, how can we transfer this into the 2026 World Cup playing at home?" And when I heard this, I was like, dude, like this is so 100% facts. Like if anybody from across the globe really studied the US men's national team and the type of quality players they have, they would understand that we are one of the most talented football countries in the world. But of course, if you don't use your talent right, you're not going to be getting anything out of it. But one thing is for sure, the talent is there. It's probably one of the best US teams we have seen in such a long time. And this is what's going to bring me to the conversation of our midfield, because it was just announced that Johnny Cardoso, who was 22 years old, won the Under 23 Player of the Month award with Real Betis. Ever since he joined Real Betis and he played his first game back on January 21st, he scored 1 goal and provided 2 assists in La Liga. He had an assist versus Cadiz, a goal versus Athletic Club, and an assist versus Atletico Madrid, which happened very recently. But Johnny Cardoso has been blossoming at Real Betis. Also, FootMob rated Johnny at 7.89, which currently puts him in second place in best player La Liga rankings. But here's the thing, he has played only 7 matches, and so his data, his sample size is like really small. So of course, his rating is going to be really high, because as of now, the only player that is beating him in La Liga in terms of like, you know, the best player in the league, it is Bellingham. And then Johnny Cardoso is like over Isco, over Griezmann, over Frankie de Jong, and I'm like, no, these numbers are a little bit of a lie, because you need much more of a sample size to truly understand what is his full rating. Let's just say, for example, Vinicius played only 1 game, and in that 1 game he scores a hat-trick, provides 2 assists, and he gets a 9.99 FootMob rating. That would put him like at the top, but that is because he only played 1 game. Meanwhile, you have the other players who played like 15 to 25 matches. So it doesn't make any sense. That is why you need a bigger sample size to truly understand where Johnny Cardoso does rank. Now let me tell you, once he does go past the 7 matches that he has played, and he has like, let's say 12 to 15 matches played, then if he has around the same number, then we can really say, okay, he's one of the best players in the league, like for sure. But either way, Cardoso came in fully firing, and I'm so glad that he has really adapted to La Liga. Johnny Cardoso came on January 1st, 2024. His contract is not going to expire until 2029, so he signed a 5-year contract, and I don't see him going anywhere. Maybe he might go on loan in case Real Betis do bad in La Liga and they're like in the bottom 5 of the league, but I don't think that's going to happen. Real Betis is a great team and managed by a great coach, and so I do see his future there. I also do want to shout out Malik Tillman. Tillman once again has been on the score sheet and scored an amazing goal with PSV that led towards a 2-2 draw against Feyenoord. Yes, PSV do consider Malik Tillman as like their greatest number 10, like one of the biggest stars for PSV. It is Malik Tillman. So this number 10 is just amazing, and I do believe that at the moment the US can see as Tillman as their favorite number 10 over Gio Reyna. We'll see how Gio Reyna does adapt with Nottingham Forest, but it does not look good. But as of now, players like Malik Tillman, Weston McKennie, Johnny Cardoso are all performing so good in this season so far in all competitions. Malik Tillman has 6 goals and 7 assists with PSV. McKennie has 7 assists with Juventus, and then we have Johnny Cardoso, who just came again to Real Betis 2 months ago and has already 1 goal and provided 2 assists. Do I believe that Tillman is the new number 10 for the US men's national team? We'll see. Could he knock out Gio Reyna in the future? I have no idea. Again, we're gonna have to wait and see how Gio Reyna does respond, but this competition that we're having here is very healthy. It's so necessary, and I think that every US fan should be very happy to see so many quality players trying to compete for that spot, and in the end doing well for their respective clubs. And the same thing does go for Tyler Adams and Musa, because I do think that Johnny Cardoso, if he continues in this form, can make great competition with the other 2 players for the CDM spot. It's going to put Tyler Adams and Musa on high alert. Tyler Adams hasn't really been playing because he has encountered a very long-term injury, but he is going to be back very soon. But here is going to be the main reason why I want to bring this conversation up. I do believe that the US is in a very special position right now, because back then we used to try and figure out what is our best and strongest starting 11. I think that now we're in a position where we can suit the best 11 for a specific team, meaning meaning that we place an 11 based on the type of opponent we are going to be facing. The US men's national team have the capability to do that because of how much depth we have in the midfield, especially. Let's say, for example, let's assume everybody is healthy and the US go on and face Bolivia. Most likely Bolivia is going to be sitting back, create a D block, try to guard their own area. They welcome the US to have all the possession in the world. The players that I will start in the midfield would be Gio Reyna, McKennie, and Johnny Cardoso, because we need high technical type of players and can distribute great passes, because in a D block, when you have to face something like that, you need great quality crossers, box threats, McKennie, and long range shooters to beat that type of D block. The player selection of Gio Reyna, McKennie, and Johnny would be amazing, or we can put Tillman, McKennie, and Johnny. So now let's move on towards the next example. Let's just say the US, they're in the Copa America or in the World Cup, and they have to face either England or Brazil. Most likely they're going to approach us with the ball, and they're going to want to be physical. They're going to be placed much higher on the pitch, and it's going to be an open game. I would not place Gio Reyna, McKennie, and Johnny Cardoso if the US have to be physical and they have to carry the ball to attack the open spaces from behind, because it's going to be an open game. I would much rather have Yunus Musa, Tyler Adams, and McKennie. MMA. As a matter of fact, that was the exact midfield that was able to stabilize against England back in the 2022 World Cup, and they're only going to get better from here. But you see how the US have different weapons for different teams. And so I strongly believe that Greg Berhalter is in a very blessed position because of how many weapons, how many choices, and how many problems he can solve. It's going to be amazing to see what the US can do in the Copa America when they face Argentina, when they have to face Brazil, and many other different opponents. So now I do want to move on towards DeAndre Yedlin, a player who does represent Inter Miami, and it is official that the club has traded defender DeAndre Yedlin to FC Cincinnati, meaning that they are going to be gaining very important roster flexibility. In addition, they're going to be acquiring $172,799 in 2024 general allocation money. And so because they're going to be acquiring $172,000 in GAM, that's going to free up a total of $683,000 in salary cap, which is amazing. If you guys are not familiar with how the general allocation money does work, here is going to be a great explanation. Allocation money can be used to buy down a player's salary budget charge as part of managing a club's roster, including buying down a salary budget charge below the league maximum of $612,500. So for example, it says here that a club may buy down a player earning $700,000 to a salary budget charge of $500,000 by using the $200,000 of general allocation money. So this is great to hear, and I do think that everybody wins in this scenario. And let me tell you why. Inter Miami do have like a lot of offensive power. They have Messi, Jordi Alba, they have Sergio Busquets, they have Luis Suarez. They're going to be having Cremachi very soon. They have a lot of attacking power. Letting go of Yedlin, yes, is going to minimize their attacking power, but I do think that one of the ways Inter Miami could improve is going to be defensively, and I do think that is where the money is going to go based off the information that we have been given. So for example, Yedlin leaving is going to allow for Grizzo, a player that performed so amazing against Orlando, to play in his natural position, which is the right wing back position. So he's going to be taking that spot, meaning that with Grizzo coming out of the central midfield position, Benjamin Cremachi would slot into his position as a midfielder. Cremachi is currently injured, but he'll be back very soon. Now many have questioned, okay Kevin, that makes sense, but why would Inter Miami make a proposal for Franco Escobar, an Argentinian right back? That is because right now, Inter Miami do have a very short-term problem. Cremachi is not going to come back until like the end of April, or maybe in the beginning of May, meaning that for now, Grizzo is going to have to play on the central midfield position, and Yedlin is going to be leaving, meaning the right back position is so open, and that is why they're going to be having Franco Escobar, again an Argentine right back, to go into that position. Franco Escobar does know Messi, and they can create a great partnership from there, and that is how Inter Miami are going to be solving their short-term solution. And of course, once Cremachi does come back, you can have Grizzo and Franco Escobar exchange positions. Both of them are going to do very, very well. And then you have the other right backs that Tata Martino could use, like Harvey Neville or Israel Bootwright. As for Cincinnati, it's golden for them. It's a great acquisition. It's definitely going to make their team better. They're going to be having a veteran presence inside the locker room, someone who can lead. We saw the way Yedlin was trying to lead Messi, Sergio Busquets, and Suarez on the pitch, so he's bold, and he's definitely going to help the players at Cincinnati. And he already has chemistry with like a lot of the players that is in Cincinnati, like Miazga, Robinson, and Noonan, who was one of the assistant coach back in 2017 for the US men's national team. So if there is a team that we're going to need to watch besides Inter Miami in the MLS, it is going to be Cincinnati because of how strong they're building their squad. It's going to be so fun to see. But that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.